What's up guys, it's your boy Spontos here, bringing you guys a quick video about next gen. Should it be considered next gen? My personal opinion, no it shouldn't. Honestly, the last next gen innovation company would have to be Nintendo. You may think that's a joke and they shouldn't even be considered next gen. My opinion they should. It took how many years before they can get their max performance out of this PlayStation or the Xbox? To the end of the lifespan, basically. And day one of the release, they already have games like Black Ops 2, which is a multi-platform game, look better on that console. And they have good specs for the time being, but once those new consoles come out, they're really gonna be behind once again. But they should be considered next gen. Why? Well, they took the risk of innovations. The pad, that's really good. What happens if someone wants to watch TV? You could go play and things. So it's like a 2-in-1 deal. It's handheld as well as a console. And they also made the innovation of split screen being no more. More games are actually adapting to the gamepad's ability, where you could play on that as player 2 and player 1 can get the TV screen. That's a great thing to do, honestly, in my opinion. As for the new consoles, such as the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, I believe they shouldn't be considered next gen, because there's no, all they're doing is just making the specs and the hardware better. And how long can that go? I want my next gen going from like you know, the transition from arcade cabinets to consoles at your house, and that's amazing. Yeah, so what if now they're finally putting motion controlling? That's not next gen. The Nintendo has already done that. They took the risk of going from the GameCube to the Wii. That was next gen, because nobody really thought motion controllers was good even before, because they also attempted that, but they fucked up. They also fucked up a little bit because the straps would break and you'll fuck up your TV. That's one reason why I didn't get a Wii, because I don't want my TV to break because the straps are whack, and they got a lot of lawsuits like crazy because of that. My opinion is, if you want to be next gen, take a risk. We live in society today where there's lack of originality. Goes from games to movies to everything in media. You have new social networks coming out, like Vine. That was innovation. And then what goes next? The little fuckboys at Instagram making the video option. Who gives a fuck? You're trying to compete. Instead of compete, why don't you blow them out the water? Do something innovative. See, what I mean by movies? Well, Hangover, how does that happen to you 3 times? And each movie, it just gets worse and worse and worse, honestly. And then you have 6 Fast and Furious movies, which actually drops the story of street racing to escaping the cops to a much bigger ordeal. That's stupid. Granted, you could argue the series is getting good, but the next movie that they said they're coming out with isn't going to be directed by the same dude. I'm still wondering when they're going to connect it to Tokyo Drift. I haven't watched the last movie, but granted, I'm just going to wait till the price drops, and then I'll rent it on Comcast. That's just me. And then we can go back to games. We have Call of Duty being released every year, and honestly, I believe the game's not worth $60, because there's always the same issues, and you guys never listen to... You always want to get the attention of the creators and developers. Well, they're not going to listen to you because they know you're going to buy the game again and be a dumbass you are. Why don't you speak with your money? Don't buy the fucking thing. Then they'll have to go back to the whiteboard and make some revisions on their ideas and policies. That's just my personal opinion, once again. And you have people like at Capcom making DLCs, which is actually in-game. They just want extra money, and then they're going to release an ultimate edition of that game 11 months later. That's just personal opinion. You guys have to think smart about that. Honestly, you have to think smart about that. So, like society, we live in a world there's lack of originality, and I believe the new consoles is that, a lack of originality. They just make better stats or better specs, and the game make it look better. I don't give a fuck if a game looks 8-bit or has amazing graphics like The Last of Us. I would rather play a game like 8-bit Mario, knowing the game is gonna be fun. Well, that's a bad example because both games were really good, but I'm just using Mario. But like Nintendo, they need to stop with their mascots and classics. They're being hoarded out like each and every year, like Call of Duty is. That's just my opinion, but I'd rather play a shitty game like the Ouya. Their graphics isn't the greatest, but the games are fun, and that's all that matters. And the customers and the consumers of that console are really happy. It's an Android console, which is going to be the future of gaming in 5 to 10 years. You guys have to think about, honestly, what's going to be good, what's innovation, what should be considered next gen. All you guys are settling for what the developers are giving out. And honestly, the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, if you guys are still really wondering for that debate, you can get a gaming PC and you could play all those games. And at that, you don't even have to buy a next console. All you have to do is upgrade your stuff, which would cost cheaper than buying an extra controller, a couple games on release date, and the console itself, and a new headset, because all that's being bullshit. You could have a gaming PC where you could fucking just upgrade the graphics card and the processor and you're straight, and just make it a beast for like a one-time payment instead of paying another 10 years. Oh, let's go bam. They're saying our consoles are better than gaming PCs. That's invalid. That's inaccurate. You guys are too dumb to believe that. No consoles, they mean the consoles are better than average PCs, not gaming PCs, because the gaming PCs is the pinnacle of gaming today, but people can't just afford it. That's why they're buying consoles. But if you're smart with your purchases, you can get a gaming PC, and you can consider that next gen. That could be next gen. What I'm just trying to prove is next gen should be originality, like what Nintendo did. They went from the motion controllers to gamepad, where you could use that as split screen. Granted, Nintendo's a family console, so they don't care about the specs that much, because it's meant for younger kids. You were growing up where you guys were Nintendo fans, and now that your balls dropped, or you're bleeding out of your vagina, you think, oh, I could play Xbox and PlayStation 3 because it has fucking Call of Duty. Fuck Call of Duty. All this shit, the innovations, the fishes are moving away from you when you're swimming. Motherfucker, what? You can go download the new Ventures DLC pack from Call of Duty, and you'll see fishes swimming in the water and crabs walking on thing. There's no innovation. They're still using the graphical engine, or gaming engine, from fucking 2008. Mario Kart 2 had its own engine, but they fired that team because they wasn't settling for that bullshit of, they wanted to make NW3 their own game, but they were like, no, you have to do a reset, so they fired them and made a new fucking company under the same name. But that's your boy Spontos. I'm just giving you a quick rundown about next gen or the lack of originality nowadays, and I'm not gonna settle with that bullshit. If I want a next gen console, I'm expecting something like the Nintendo products. Like, they're taking the risk. Some of them may be successful, some of them may be bad, but at least it's fucking fun. Gaming is just about to be fun. It's not to be so serious. Like, you fucking dumb fucks who think KDs are amazing. Fuck your KD. This is Spontus and I'm signing out. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If not, then fuck off.